Hello everybody, Josh here with Smart Start Websites with a fast lesson on how to add a post to your WordPress website. WordPress is a very user-friendly management system, but getting past some of the early intimidation and frustration factors can make a big difference. So that's why this tutorial is here. It's a very simple process, but to start with, you might not understand what a post is. A post is WordPress or blogging terminology for a new entry on your website. Your website has been set up so you can add or edit information easily, and when you add new information, generally you will want to add it in the form of a post. Now, it may still be a little complicated, but it may help to think of your website in two parts. One of them being kind of like an online brochure. That would be the pages of your website. These are the pages located in your navigation menu. The information on these pages is more or less static in the sense that it doesn't change very often. It's there to give visitors to your website an overview of the overall business, services, products, service locations, things like that. The second part of your website would be thought of kind of like an online news feed or an online newspaper about your business, commonly referred to as a blog section. This is the area where posts will be added to your website when you add them. And we've created a menu item on your main menu that's called News and Advice, and this is just a different heading for what would also be known as the blog section of your website. So, moving on a little bit. What are some common post ideas and reasons for adding a post? If you just finished a nice new project and you've got some pictures and you want to brag a little bit about how nice a job you did and how happy your customer was, great post idea. Another reason, if you've got an upcoming promotion or sale that you want to let people know about or make folks aware of, a great item for a post on your website. Maybe a new service or technology, or maybe you just invested in a great new tool that nobody else is using that allows you to deliver a much better product. These are all types of news that are very easy to add and share on your website when you've been set up with a WordPress website and you take a little time to learn how to do it. Uh, Another little idea here, maybe you've got a new employee or a new star person in your field who's joined your company. Share that with the world. Let people know. So, and an additional reason, not only just sharing good news and important information about your company, but search engines really seem to favor websites that add new content regularly. So adding posts and keeping your website fresh with new content is generally going to mean a higher rank in the SERPs. And the bottom line there is more customers. The higher you rank, the more people are going to visit your website, and as a result, the more conversions you're going to get. It's real simple math. So here is the process. Log into the administrative section of your website using the appropriate account type. If you don't know what that means, you're going to want to watch the video we've created on administrative versus editor accounts. Then beyond that, you'll just need to click the Add New Post from the left sidebar. Beyond that, it's very much like a word processor in the sense you'll just be adding content and information. You'll be required to categorize your post. So whatever you've added information about, whether it's a recent project or general news, you want to put it in the right category so it gets filtered through the WordPress system properly. And then as a final, just check for some errors and click the Publish button. And we'll demonstrate all of that right now. It's a very simple process. So here we are on a simple business website. This is the demonstration website for Smart Start Websites. And here you can see the main navigation menu items. These are the static pages that are not going to change very often, although they are easily updated through a very similar process. But here is the news and advice, and a category of the blog section is recent projects. So we want to add a post about a newly finished project. So if we look up here, this tab is open to the front end of the website. This tab right here is open to the administrative section of a website. This is a handy tip for working in WordPress. Always keep two tabs open. That way, if you make a change or an update, you can always come back out here to the front end and hit refresh, and you'll be able to see your updates live on the website. So we're just going to check out the news and advice section right here, and we've previously added some demonstration posts in this area. So that's what you're looking at right here. But we're going to go back to the dashboard, and over here on the left-hand sidebar, you see the posts area. And if I click this little triangle button, I get a new menu, or a little menu that opens up, and I want to add a new post. And when I do that, here is the primary add a new post page. And there are a couple things to point out right here. One of them is the visual and HTML tab. About 95% of the time you will want to work in the visual tab. This is appropriate for most beginner WordPress users. The only time you'll need to step into the HTML area is if you are adding or embedding a YouTube video or something like that. But that is a subject of another tutorial, so you can check that out if that's something you're interested in. So here on the visual tab, one little button to pay close attention to here is this show/hide the kitchen sink. And if I push that, you'll notice this little toolbar gets bigger. So this is just a way to hide or display more options. I try to leave that showing the kitchen sink so I can see all the options. So in this area, we have a place to add content. We have a little bit of some word processing options up here. So left justify, center justify, right align, all that stuff. So let's just write, first of all, I'm going to go back a little bit and add a new post. So we want to add a new title. So let's call this a recently completed project in Minot, North Dakota. That's where we're located, and so we'll just, again, just for demonstration purposes. So that's going to be the title of our post, and you'll see now WordPress jumped in there and they created a little link for us. So if we ever wanted to link to this article from another place on our website, that's the address that it'll be located at. I'll show you adding links here in just a bit. So I'm just going to type a little bit of dummy text here. This won't take a minute, but recently completed a great new project in Minot. So that's all we really need to do for now. I'm going to just show you how we can work with some of this text a little bit. HTML doesn't make adding font sizes quite the same as, or changing font sizes quite the same as it is in a WordPresser, but the option is still here. So if you wanted to make something appear a little bigger, we can call it a heading 2. And now you can see that all of a sudden that text was highlighted a little bit. Now, this isn't quite as intuitive, like I say, as a word processor. Most of the time, you're going to want to stick with the paragraph type there for regular text and use headings kind of like they're used up here. This is actually a heading. So it's a short phrase or a short sentence used to describe the content in the paragraph below that. However, if I wanted to call attention to Minot a little bit, I can come up here with this B and click a bold. And that makes the text bolder and more highlighted. If I want to indent a little bit, we've got a button right there. I can take it back out here. If I want the text centered on the page, there's that. Okay. And the other important little common function, or there's two more actually. I'll talk about this button right here, which is add an image. So if I click that, The Add Image dialog box opens up and we get to make a selection. So you can either add pictures from a location on your computer. If the picture is already loaded into your media library, you can add it from there. If you want to link from a picture on another website, you can actually do that very easily if you have the image location. And then we've also installed the NextGen Gallery plugin if you want to add multiple pictures on a certain page. And so that's right here as well. There's actually an easier way to add NextGen Galleries if you are logged in as an administrator. But right now we are logged in simply as an editor. So that being the case, let's demonstrate a few more things down here. One of these are the SEO details. This is some slightly more advanced user stuff, but well worth learning about for the long term. The title tag is very important. Search engines pay very close attention to that. So if you were to get some important keywords that this post were about, if this were a new home that was finished in Minot, for example, maybe by a construction company, we might type new home construction in Minot. And that would be typed there for the idea that we want this page or this post to maybe rank for people who are searching for new home construction in Minot, North Dakota. So custom title tags, nice to have this feature available. That's a feature of the thesis theme. And again, more advanced information there, but worth starting to learn about, taking a little time to learn about it. Not too much of this stuff down here are you ever going to really need to use, but as you get more familiar with WordPress, that'll all become apparent to you. The most important thing you need to do after you've added your text and maybe some pictures and things like that is come over here and categorize your post. And so this was a new project, so we're going to click that little box right there that says recent projects. And then the next step is to publish. And it takes a minute to update with the database, and everything's set up. Now, if I want to check and see if my website was updated, I come back out here to the front on this other tab, and I'm going to click refresh, because you always have to refresh the page if you've made any changes. And now you can see at the very top the new post says recently completed project in Minot, North Dakota, and a little bit of text we've added. So that's how simple it is, folks. It's as easy as logging in and typing what you want to type and going from there. So I'm gonna just real quick run back to the slideshow here and see if there's any more information. Just our closing screen. Smart Start Websites, we're a great solution for small local businesses. You can visit us at smartstartwebsites.com. Don't forget the little hyphens or dashes, though. We couldn't quite get the domain name we wanted. Or if you're the type of person who prefers a real-world conversation, feel free to give us a call. 888-371-1461. We're happy to take calls and answer questions as we can, and I'm sure we can help you make some really good decisions that will benefit you from in terms of helping you build a great website, helping you save money, helping you learn what you need to learn about where the world is heading. So thanks for your time. Hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Don't forget to check us out at YouTube for lots more of this great advice.